There are things in Derry that hide not because they are weak, but because they are stronger than our imaginations can bear. In episode 3, titled Now You See It, the veil begins to lift. The past bleeds into the present, and the darkness that loomed in shadows begins to speak. In the small town of Derry, Maine, the air is already electric with fear. Episode 3 opens in 1908 at a traveling carnival, where a young boy named Francis Shaw is drawn to a freak show tent. There, in flickering gaslight, he meets a sinister, emaciated figure with one empty eye socket. The creature's presence terrifies Francis. His father, stern and urgent, hands him a slingshot, a prize won at the fair. But Francis's journey doesn't end there. As dusk falls, the car breaks down. The group pulls over at a makeshift store run by Native American children. Francis, shy and hopeful, trades his slingshot with a girl named Rose in exchange for water. It's a small act, but one that changes everything. Francis and Rose form a bond that feels too pure, too rooted, like two pieces of a puzzle that always belonged together. Rose warns him not to enter a nearby forest, but Francis, curious and headstrong, ventures in, and that forest is not empty. The same monstrous figure from the fair stalks him there, moving on all fours, its jaws twisted and its form unnatural. In a heartbeat, Rose raises the slingshot, fires, and the bolt hits, striking the creature. It recoils, wounded. For a moment, they have a chance, but the creature lunges one last time, and the scene cuts away, unresolved, hanging in silence. That slingshot isn't just a toy anymore. It's a symbol, a weapon, a memory. Cut to 1963. Dick Halloran, the mysterious man with the shine, is now working with Major Leroy Hanlon and Captain Russo. General Shaw, older, hardened, haunted, is running his own operation in Derry. He still remembers, or sometimes he doesn't. Rose, now running an antique store, sees him for the first time in decades. Their relationship is complicated. Stephen King's trauma, love, and history all wrapped into one. Shaw invites Rose to help guide the military's digging efforts, unmarked burial grounds, ancient land, secrets to deeply buried. Rose agrees, reluctantly, warning that digging in Derry is never just excavation. It's something more. Meanwhile, Halloran touches that same slingshot, the very one Francis once held. The moment his fingers close around it, something cracks. The shine flares. He's no longer on the plain. He's traveling in. He's somewhere darker, somewhere rooted beneath Derry. In his trance, Halloran finds himself in a flooded cavern, ankle-deep water rippling around him. The air hums, heavy and thick, as if every drop of moisture is saturated with fear. Toys float around him once loved. Amid them, a wagon appears, painted with the name Pennywise. The wagon's door creaks open, revealing two glowing yellow eyes. A voice, distant, yet unmistakable, whispers, "Who are you?" The face that emerges is mechanical, monstrous, not clown yet, but something between demon and machine. Suddenly, the vision fractures. He sees war scenes, bombs, blood, chaos. Then bodies suspended in midair, drifting like ghosts. Among them, a familiar silhouette. His grandmother. She gazes at him, sorrowful but firm, and warns, "Get out." Panic sets in. Halloran's hand goes for a door handle, and he realizes he's not on the ground. He's opening a hatch, the back of a plane. Below, nothing but blackness. He stumbles. His grip slips. He's falling. Then, Leroy Hanlon, in a blur, lunges, catches him. The vision snaps back. He's back in reality. The plane hums. The wind rattles. He's alive, but something inside him changed. Meanwhile, Lily, Ronnie, Will, and Rich are desperate. They believe if they can capture it on camera, if they can make proof, maybe they can save Hank, locked up in jail for something he might not have done. Rich suggests a ritual invoking something called an elixir, drawn from his Cuban heritage and stories from his uncle. They go to the graveyard, candles lit, hearts pounding. Candlelight flickers, shadows stretched. The air tastes of earth and fear. Ghostly figures emerge. Shapes of kids lost, faces of children who disappeared in Derry's past. The group scrambles, racing through gravestones. Will tumbles into a crypt. Ronnie, Lily, and Rich shout his name. Will's camera swings wildly, catching glimpses. One ghoul, then another. Each click of the shutter feels like fate. When they finally escape, breathless, shaking, they develop the film. Their hands tremble as pictures slide across their fingers. Ghosts in flicker frame form. Then, one final image, blurry, dark, unmistakable. A face, a clown. Rich whispers it. It's a clown. Whether it's Pennywise in full form, we don't know. But this is the closest they've come. And for the first time, the monster is no longer just a shadow. Back at the base, Halloran warns General Shaw. It saw me. It wasn't supposed to. That one line chills more than any monster, because it means the beast, the darkness, is no longer blind. They have crossed paths, and the balance of power is shifting. Shaw, scarred from the past, listens. But his ambition doesn't waver. He still thinks he can control this. He still seeks to weaponize it. He still sees power where others see only horror. Rose, at her antique store, contemplates what she's really protecting. Not just her land, but her soul, her memories. The legacy of those who understood Derry long before Shaw came back. Episode 3 ends with a whisper. Not a scream, but that whisper is loud enough to echo through every corridor of Derry. Halloran's vision, the kid's photo, Shaw's warning, they're all signs that the monster's next act is just beginning. If it saw him and responded, what happens when it decides to act? And more frightening, what if it's not just Pennywise we should fear, but the town itself? If you liked this breakdown, and you want more deep dives, more hidden clues, more of Rewatch Files, hit subscribe. In the next video, we'll explore how Episode 3 connects The Shining, Derry's 1908 past, and why the slingshot isn't just a weapon, but a legacy dot. Until then, keep your cameras ready. Watch every shadow, because in Derry, nothing is what it seems.